9-year-old Sophia Kowalski was sledding in her backyard in rural Wisconsin when the worst blizzard in 50 years struck without warning, creating whiteout conditions that made it impossible to see beyond arm's length. When Sophia didn't return to the house, her family searched frantically, but couldn't locate her in the swirling snow that was accumulating at 3 inches per hour. But Mittens, Sophia's devoted Maine Coon cat, who had never left the property in his 5 years of life, watched from the kitchen window as his girl vanished into the storm. Against every feline instinct that told him to stay safe and warm indoors, Mittens bolted through the cat door and disappeared into the deadly blizzard. For 6 hours, the remarkable cat navigated through zero visibility conditions using senses that humans couldn't comprehend, eventually finding Sophia unconscious in a snowdrift 200 yards from home and leading a search and rescue team back to her location through a trail only he could follow. Welcome to Saved by Tales. Before we dive into this incredible story of feline navigation and loyalty conquering impossible weather conditions, tell me in the comments, have you ever witnessed a cat's extraordinary ability to navigate in conditions where humans would be completely lost? And if you believe these amazing stories of cats risking everything to save their human families deserve to be shared, hit that subscribe button and join our community celebrating the four-legged heroes who prove that courage and devotion aren't limited to dogs. The Kowalski family had adopted Mittens as a kitten 5 years earlier, and the Maine Coon had bonded immediately with 9-year-old Sophia in the kind of deep connection that sometimes develops between children and cats. Unlike many cats who maintained independence from their human families, Mittens followed Sophia everywhere, slept on her bed every night, and seemed to understand her moods and needs with remarkable sensitivity. Mittens isn't like other cats, Sophia's mother, Anna Kowalski, often told friends. He's more like Sophia's guardian angel. That cat knows exactly where she is and what she's doing every moment of the day. The family lived on a 10-acre property outside Green Bay, Wisconsin, where winter weather could be challenging, but was generally predictable enough for safe outdoor activities. Sophia was an experienced winter player who understood snow safety and had been sledding on the same hill behind their house for several years. Mittens typically watched Sophia's outdoor adventures from inside the house, positioned at windows where he could observe her activities while staying warm and dry. The Maine Coon was an indoor cat by choice, having never shown interest in exploring beyond the safety and comfort of his home environment. Mittens loves watching Sophia play outside, but he's never wanted to join her, Anna explained to neighbors. He's perfectly content to be an indoor observer of all her adventures. On January 23rd, that pattern would change dramatically when maternal instinct overrode every safety consideration that had kept Mittens safely indoors for his entire life. The weather forecast for January 23rd had called for light snow and temperatures in the 20s, typical Wisconsin winter conditions that wouldn't prevent outdoor activities. Sophia had permission to sled on the gentle hill behind their house, an area that was visible from the kitchen window where Anna could monitor her daughter's play. "Stay where I can see you," Anna reminded Sophia as she bundled up in her winter gear. "Come in if the snow starts getting heavy." What the forecasters hadn't predicted was the rapid intensification of an Arctic front that would create blizzard conditions within 30 minutes of its arrival. The storm brought wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour and snowfall rates that would dump over 18 inches in 6 hours. Sophia had been sledding for about an hour when the storm hit with frightening suddenness. One moment she was enjoying perfect sledding conditions with clear visibility, and the next she was surrounded by swirling snow that made it impossible to see her own sled tracks. "Mama," Sophia called, but her voice was swallowed by the howling wind that had risen to dangerous levels within minutes. From his position at the kitchen window, Mittens watched as Sophia disappeared into what had become a wall of white. The cat immediately began agitated pacing and vocalizing, trying to alert Anna to the dangerous situation developing outside. Anna realized the severity of the storm when she looked outside and could no longer see Sophia or even the familiar landmarks of their backyard. What had been a clear view of the sledding hill had become a complete whiteout with zero visibility. "Sophia," Anna called from the back door, but the wind was so strong that her voice couldn't carry more than a few feet. "Sophia, come inside right now." When there was no response, Anna bundled up and ventured outside to search for her daughter. But the blizzard conditions were so severe that she became disoriented within yards of the house, unable to see the building she had just exited. "I can't find her," Anna told her husband Michael when she returned to the house after a terrifying few minutes outside. "The visibility is zero. I couldn't even find my way back to the house." Michael immediately called 911, but emergency dispatchers explained that rescue operations were suspended due to the blizzard conditions. Wind gusts and zero visibility made it impossible for search teams to operate safely until the storm passed. "We have equipment that can help, but we can't deploy teams in whiteout conditions," the dispatcher explained. "It's too dangerous for our responders." While Anna and Michael waited helplessly for the storm to subside enough for official search operations, Mittens made a decision that defied every survival instinct bred into domestic cats over thousands of years. The Maine Coon bolted through the cat door and disappeared into the deadly blizzard. "Mittens, no," Anna called when she saw the cat heading outside. "Come back." But Mittens was beyond recall. The cat had observed Sophia's disappearance and understood that she was in mortal danger somewhere in the storm. His bond with the little girl overrode his natural aversion to harsh weather and unknown territory. Maine Coons possess several physical and sensory adaptations that make them better equipped for harsh weather than most domestic cat breeds. Their thick, water-resistant coats provide insulation against cold and wind, while their large, tufted paws act like natural snowshoes for travel over snow. Most importantly, cats possess navigation abilities that humans are only beginning to understand: magnetic sensitivity, ultra-low frequency hearing, and scent detection capabilities that can function even in extreme weather conditions. Navigating through blizzard conditions with zero visibility was a challenge that would defeat most humans even with modern equipment, but Mittens possessed sensory capabilities that allowed him to track Sophia's scent trail and movement patterns despite the swirling snow and wind. Cats can detect scent molecules at concentrations far below human thresholds, and their vomeronasal organs allow them to process chemical information that provides detailed environmental mapping. Mittens was essentially following a scent map that remained viable even in blizzard conditions. The Maine Coon also used his hearing to navigate, detecting ultra-low frequency sounds that could penetrate wind and snow. These sounds included Sophia's breathing, heartbeat, and movement patterns that created acoustic signatures Mittens could follow even when visual navigation was impossible. Cats have navigation abilities that we're only beginning to understand, explained Dr. Sarah Kim, a feline behavior specialist who later studied Mittens' rescue. Their sensory capabilities in extreme weather exceed anything humans can achieve without technological assistance. After nearly 3 hours of searching through the blizzard, Mittens located Sophia in a snowdrift approximately 200 yards from the house. The 9-year-old had become disoriented in the whiteout conditions and had taken shelter against a fence post, where blowing snow had gradually buried her. Sophia was unconscious from hypothermia and exhaustion, her body temperature dangerously low after hours of exposure to sub-zero wind chills. Without immediate intervention, she would not survive much longer in the extreme conditions. Mittens immediately positioned himself against Sophia's body, using his thick fur and natural body heat to provide warming that could help stabilize her core temperature. The cat's presence also served as a beacon for potential rescuers, as his movement and vocalizations created detectable signals in the storm. Mittens, Sophia whispered weakly when she briefly regained consciousness, her voice barely audible over the wind. "You found me." The Maine Coon began a systematic calling pattern, loud, distinctive vocalizations that were different from his normal meowing and were designed to attract attention from search teams. As evening approached and the storm finally began to weaken enough for limited search operations, Green Bay County search and rescue teams prepared to begin looking for Sophia. But the search area encompassed dozens of acres, and even with reduced wind conditions, visibility remained extremely limited. "We're looking for a 9-year-old girl in an area that could take days to search systematically," explained search and rescue coordinator Janet Walsh. "We need some kind of signal or indicator to narrow our search focus." That signal came from Mittens, whose distinctive calling pattern was detected by search team member Mark Rodriguez using audio equipment designed to locate voices in extreme weather conditions. "I'm hearing something that doesn't sound like wind or storm noise," Rodriguez radioed to his team. "It sounds like an animal in distress, but it's very regular and intentional." Following the audio signals, the search team navigated toward Mittens' location, guided by the cat's persistent vocalizations that continued even as the searchers approached. When the search team reached Mittens' location, they found the Maine Coon positioned protectively over Sophia's partially buried form, his thick coat covered with ice and snow, but his body providing crucial warmth for the unconscious girl. "We've got her," Rodriguez radioed immediately. "The girl is alive, and there's a cat here that appears to have been keeping her warm." Sophia was unconscious but breathing, her core body temperature critically low but not yet at fatal levels. Medical experts later determined that Mittens' body heat had provided the margin of warming that prevented fatal hypothermia during her final hours of exposure. "That cat literally saved this child's life," said EMT Robert Chen as they prepared Sophia for emergency transport. His body heat and the shelter he provided made the difference between survival and death. Sophia was rushed to Green Bay Medical Center, where emergency physicians treated her for severe hypothermia, frostbite, and exhaustion. Her condition was serious but stable, with no permanent damage from her 6-hour exposure to life-threatening weather conditions. "Sophia's survival is remarkable considering the conditions she endured," explained Dr. Lisa Martinez, who supervised her treatment. The warming provided by her cat during the final hours of exposure was crucial to maintaining her core temperature above fatal levels. Mittens was also treated for exposure and exhaustion. Though his thick Maine Coon coat had provided excellent protection against the harsh conditions, the cat showed no signs of frostbite or serious injury from his rescue mission. "Mittens is in surprisingly good condition considering what he's been through," reported veterinarian Dr. Amanda Foster. "Maine Coons are built for harsh weather, but his endurance during this rescue was extraordinary." The reunion between Sophia and Mittens took place in her hospital room, where the exhausted cat immediately curled up beside his girl, resuming the protective positioning that had kept her alive during the blizzard. "Mittens saved me," Sophia told her parents when she was strong enough to speak clearly. "He found me in the snow and kept me warm. He's my hero." The bond between Sophia and Mittens, already strong before the rescue, had been deepened by their shared survival experience. The cat seemed to understand that he had accomplished something extraordinary, but his focus remained entirely on staying close to Sophia. "The relationship between these two is remarkable," observed child psychologist Dr. Robert Kim, who worked with Sophia during her recovery. "Their connection goes beyond typical pet ownership into genuine partnership and mutual care." Mittens' heroic rescue attracted attention from feline behavior researchers and emergency response specialists, who were amazed by the cat's navigation abilities and decision-making during extreme weather conditions. "This rescue demonstrates feline capabilities that most people don't recognize," explained Dr. Jennifer Walsh from the University of Wisconsin's Animal Behavior Program. Mittens showed navigation skills, weather survival abilities, and rescue instincts that are remarkable even for cats. The case became a study in feline emergency response and the potential for cats to serve as rescue animals in situations where their sensory advantages could save human lives. The story of Mittens' blizzard rescue spread throughout Wisconsin and beyond, inspiring cat owners and demonstrating the remarkable loyalty and capability of felines who are often underestimated compared to dogs. "Mittens proves that cats can be just as heroic and devoted as any dog," said Wisconsin Humane Society Director Maria Rodriguez. "His rescue shows us that cats form deep bonds with their families and will risk everything to protect them." The rescue also led to improved emergency protocols for extreme weather situations and better understanding of how domestic animals could assist in search and rescue operations. Following their recovery, Sophia and Mittens returned to their normal routines, though both showed lasting effects from their shared traumatic experience. Sophia developed a deeper appreciation for weather safety and emergency preparedness, while Mittens became even more protective of his girl. "Mittens watches Sophia more carefully now," Anna observed during follow-up interviews. "It's like he understands that the world can be dangerous and he needs to stay alert to keep her safe." Their story continued to inspire discussions about animal intelligence, feline loyalty, and the remarkable bonds that can develop between children and their pet companions. 5 years after the blizzard rescue, Sophia and Mittens remained inseparable companions. Sophia, now 14, often spoke about how Mittens had taught her about courage, loyalty, and the importance of never giving up on those you love. "Mittens showed me that family means taking care of each other no matter what," Sophia said during a school presentation about her experience. "He risked his life to save mine because that's what love looks like." Their story continued to inspire families and demonstrate the remarkable capabilities of cats whose intelligence and devotion often went unrecognized until moments of crisis revealed their true potential. Mittens had proven that heroism comes in all sizes and that sometimes the most unlikely rescuers are the ones who see past danger to focus entirely on saving the lives they cherish most. "I still think about that January afternoon when a 9-year-old girl vanished into a blizzard that created zero visibility and life-threatening conditions, and a Maine Coon cat made a decision that defied every survival instinct evolution had given him. If Mittens had stayed warm and safe indoors, if he'd waited for human rescuers to find Sophia, if he'd prioritized his own safety over hers, that little girl would have died alone in a snowdrift just 200 yards from home." Mittens' story teaches us something profound about the hidden capabilities of cats and the depth of bonds that can exist between children and their feline companions. This cat didn't just venture outside, he navigated through impossible conditions using senses we barely understand, found his girl against overwhelming odds, and provided the body heat that kept her alive until human help could arrive. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever witnessed a cat's extraordinary ability to navigate in conditions where humans would be completely lost? Have your feline companions shown loyalty and protective instincts that amazed you? These capabilities might be more common than we realize, hidden until moments of crisis reveal what our cats are truly capable of achieving. Share your experiences in the comments below, because at Saved by Tails we believe that cats possess remarkable abilities and devotion that often go unrecognized until they choose to risk everything for the humans they love. If Mittens' incredible story moved you, if it reminded you that feline heroism is real and powerful and life-saving, please share this video with others who need to see what courage looks like when it's powered by whiskers, determination, and a heart that refuses to abandon family. Hit that like button, subscribe to Saved by Tails, and help us continue telling the stories of cats whose intelligence and loyalty create miracles when everything seems impossible. Thank you for watching, and remember, sometimes our greatest navigators are the ones who see with senses we can't comprehend and love with hearts that know no limits when family needs saving.